My check, my check, my check, my check. What it do? What is up? Welcome to Club Shada episode number 196. Isn't that beautiful? I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's doing fine. Listen, imagine that at midnight and 30, I was on my sofa. My wife went to bed with my daughter. They were watching a movie. I was like, they're probably sleeping already. And I'm like, what time is it? It's midnight and 32? All right, let me watch. Let me see what I can watch on Netflix. And then I was like, wait a minute. Isn't it Club It's Club Shada today. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's in the best of the spirits. I am. I'm happy. I really did a lot of administrative work, and I'm happy that I finally did this thing that I thought that I talked about like months ago. When it comes to my branding, as this hat is, I don't know. For some reason, I don't know. Or maybe it's just me. Anyway, I finally did this thing that I really wanted to do. And yeah, I'm really glad about it. Other than that, the show is brought to you by shadaware.com, the gods of good fortune. I want to say hi to all the new subscribers on this channel. I didn't check, but it was around 1,900 new subscribers this month. So this is beautiful to know that after all these years, you're still growing slow by slow, step by step. That's beautiful. I want to say hi to all the new people who watch the show. I've seen a few new faces in the last two free videos. I hope I will see them again. And of course, Shada Gang was good. I'm your boy, Mr. Shada. And listen, I want to acknowledge our stream royalty. Sirène des Îles with $24 for the month of April, and of course all my sponsors, Bruno, Sirène des Îles, of course. La Milliardaire, and many more people who have been supporting this show with your super chat. Don't hesitate, even if you think $1 is not enough. Listen, $1 is $1. To me, this is the way I see it. The more dollars you make, with a lot of $1, you can make $100. So, of course, the songs you hear in the back, I don't know if they're too low. I never know what if I put them too low or not. Yeah, I'm gonna leave them like this. Of course, if you like a song that is playing while I'm talking, it is here. And I'm gonna really buy a new chair because this one is making so much noise. It's a pain in the butt. I didn't even turn on the iPad to know if the stream was going well, if people were not even monitoring my stream. What is this? There we go. Yeah, so yeah, listen, I really enjoyed the new intro. I don't know, there was something about this 1 minute silence that was really like pissing me off. Now I play a whole one or two songs from the get-go so I can have 10 minutes to let the people come in. I think it's much better. Yeah, keep changing this show as always. Keep adding stuff. I might have a few things I'm gonna change soon, but I'm waiting. I think it's the holidays for my daughter. I think she doesn't have school tomorrow until Monday, I believe. I'm not even sure. Listen, in my house we live in Ottersea. This thing is I'm buying a chair tomorrow. Listen, I'm going tomorrow get me a chair that doesn't make noise like this, and I want something in leather and something white or black. I don't know. We'll see. But tomorrow I'm buying a chair, a good one, not one I have to build myself. Some something that you say, I like this one, and they come build it in your house. Those ones, the 200 euros one. That's the next thing I'm doing. That's for sure. Shushu-san, how are you doing? I hope you're doing good. Ellie's boys, what's up? Too bad you can't stay with us. There's a tornado in your area. Oof. I didn't hear about all that, but listen, good luck. Good luck with that. Ralphie, what up, brother? I hope you're good. Can you imagine that? Almost 200 episodes. Listen, I don't drink, but I'm drinking champagne at episode 200. That's a certainty. La milliardaire, hello. Bonsoir. Bruno, what up, brother? I like when you're here. I feel less lonely. You know? You sleep too early. You changed. Damn. Buy back all your stuff and come back with the heroes of the night, us. ALC, what up? How are you doing? You know, every time I look at your name, I'm asking, what was his old name? What was ALC mean? What? I forgot. You know. Malcolm Beach, what up, my brother? I hope you're doing good. I need a big desk for new project. Oh yeah. I know what you want to put in there. So listen, where do I start? I want to talk to you about guidance, but before that, I want to talk to you about, you might not believe, but I wake up at 8 a.m. Even if I sleep like 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 8, I'm awake and working already. So I want to talk to you about a message I received from YouTube. What you mean you didn't know we had Club Shada during the week? Club Shada is twice a week. Club Shada is on Wednesdays and on Sundays. Of course we have Club Shada during the week. Yeah. I don't even know how I have to go find the day when we decide the times and when we do the thing. Oh, actually, speaking about time, my wife is traveling in 5 days. She's going with her sister. They're gonna be out of town for a whole week. So I'm gonna be alone with my daughter for a whole week. So I'm wondering if I'm gonna change the schedule of the show just for that week. I might, because I'm gonna, when my daughter is first of all, I'm gonna have to. So in the house, this is the organization we have. My wife takes my daughter to school at 8 a.m. Because I work at night. Now, if I'm alone with my daughter and I have to take her at school at 8, I think I could drop her until 10. But for this, I'm gonna have to wake up every day at 8:30, give her a bath, etc., etc. So I'm not gonna be able to work late at night, and I'm not gonna be able to be on live late at night, especially if the next day in the morning I have to wake up and take my daughter to school. So what I'm thinking of doing, because my daughter leaves school at 5 p.m., 5:30, I have to go get her. I might do Club Shada while I'm alone at home in the afternoon. So I might do Club Shadas at 2 p.m. for just 1 week. I'm gonna test to see. I don't know, because it's a big change for most people. A lot of people are in overseas, so for you guys, 2 p.m. would be 10 a.m. Those who are used to see me at 7 p.m., 5 p.m., for them it's gonna be earlier, but it's gonna be like the early episodes. So I'm thinking of, you know, I'm thinking of that. I'm thinking of how I'm gonna do it, and I think the best way to accommodate the fact that I'm gonna be just alone with my daughter, it's gonna be to, yeah, to move the show for what, just for that week at 2 p.m. Another thing that I could do, and I'm gonna let you decide. Another thing that I could do is pre-record the show at 2 p.m. Maybe interviews, maybe stuff. I could even, and yeah, and then let it play by itself while I'm sleeping at midnight and 30. Because I mean, to wake up at 8 a.m. I don't need to sleep at midnight. I can be asleep at even 3 a.m. and then just wake up, take her to school, and then go back to sleep. But I believe the best way to do it, just for that, is going to be one Wednesday and one Sunday, would be to just do the show in the afternoon. So I'm going to try 2 p.m. probably, and we'll see how it goes. But I still have time. We'll see Sunday what I decide. And or maybe if I have another option, maybe I can have my sister. No. We'll see. We'll see what I do. So yeah, I mean, listen, give me your opinion. What do you? What up, Kennedy Gamer? What do you think? And we'll see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have my 6. I think after 5, my eyes open, but I still get 6 or 7. That shit is crazy. I received that message. I'm about to talk about that. Actually, I'm about to talk about that message I received from YouTube. But listen, I had a whole show where I wanted to talk about, the interest of each party, the interest of the Americans in all this, Europe's positions, and then I received YouTube's email, and I was like, it's not worth it. Like these platforms chose their sides. So, I mean, and it's not that you cannot talk in a negative way. It's just that they're gonna remove your monetization if you say that certain things are false and stuff like that. So yeah, listen, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to receive that kind of email. It's almost, I mean, would I say censorship? But it's just like, hey, listen, we telling you already. We letting you know. Where is it? Where is this email? Wait. I think I put it in the trash. Oh, Sirène des Îles. Sponsor numéro 1. Thank you so much and welcome. Welcome to Club Shada, and thank you for your support for all these months. I greatly appreciate it. So what was the email from YouTube? I think I received an email from AdSense. So it's not, listen, it was not even an email from YouTube. It was an email from AdSense. So you have to understand what is AdSense and what is YouTube. YouTube is the platform where you do your channel. AdSense is the account you have, so you are able to monetize not only your videos on YouTube, but also put ads on your website if you have a website, etc., etc. Even if you have an app that have ads, if you're monetizing via ads, this is via AdSense. So when you get an AdSense account, you become a publisher. And this is what I received. So what does it say? What's going on with why do I have the impression that I have? What is this in the back? Sorry, let me check something. There's some stuff I don't understand here. What is it? A window in the back. Give me a second. Don't mind me. I think I have a window that's, it's a tweet. All right, perfect. So I was saying, I received this from AdSense. Important notice update regarding Ukraine. Dear publisher, due to the war in Ukraine, we will pause monetization of content that exploits, dismisses, or condones the war. Please note, we have already been enforcing on claims related to the war in Ukraine when they violated existing policies, for example, dangerous or derogatory content policy, prohibiting monetizing content that incite violence or denies tragic events. This update is meant to clarify and in some cases expand on our publisher guidance as it relates to this conflict. This pause includes, but is not limited to, claims that imply victims are responsible for their own tragedy or similar instances of victim blaming. Such as claims that Ukraine is committing genocide or deliberately attacking its own citizen. Sincerely, the Google AdSense team. I mean, I don't disagree with everything they're saying. I understand that. I understand that some people are saying some crazy things. Some people have all kind of theories, like it is on the internet. But like, in a way, it kind of makes you want to, I would not say censor yourself, because there's this line where people put some policies, and now let's say you will want to try to have an objective point of view without being partisan, and just ask yourself, how did we get here? And be able to criticize the actions of one part or the other part without condoning. And the people that disagree with you might use those type of rules to just silence you. And that's when it becomes dangerous. And I believe that the Western world is playing a dangerous game of, even if I understand the intent, they are playing a dangerous game of, okay, this is the narrative that we want everybody to agree with, and we don't care if you have other views or etc., because the emotions that we all decided for everybody is that everybody has to be horrified by this war, which is, I mean, it's understandable, and we need everybody to be against Russia, and everybody to be against to nobody can say, oh, they're doing this because whatever, or even maybe just understand how they arrived there. No, they're evil now. And what about the 200 other conflicts around the world all year long? To me, this is where my problem begins. Conflict in Congo, 10 years, 10 million people. People can come and give their opinions how they want, and I don't see YouTube enforcing anything. Syria, this, that, all these places, people are debating, giving their opinions, and if you come from the point of view of somebody that is from one side, let's say in Sudan or in Darfur, you might come from somebody who's from the other side, who's not condoning, but is giving an opinion on what they are for or against, etc. have conversation, just or sometimes just trying to explain your point of view, and you can criticize a few of the actions from Ukraine that deliberately disrespected the accords that they signed in 2014, and this escalated and escalated, and the fact that the Americans are also, they have their hand in all this, and they don't want Europe to be united in some way. So nobody is trying to appease this conflict. Everybody's putting more weapons, more, and the Americans are saying a lot of things from far away. They are not here. We are here. So all these are conversations that you might want to have, and it doesn't mean you are condoning or you are excusing. It just means that you want to understand how we arrive here. And people might just be telling you, now listen, these guys crazy, those guys are good, and that's it. So all the documentaries and all the things that have been said about that country, all the last 4, 5, 6 years, the corruption, all these things, all the things like it. Listen, you just go on Vice, you watch videos from 4 years ago, from 2 years ago, everything that is being said, nobody cares anymore. Like, this guy was in the Panama Papers, and next year is probably going to be a Nobel Prize. And listen, I don't care. Listen, I'm French. I live in Portugal. Listen, I have a lot of friends in Russia, but I have more friends in Ukraine. So I'm actually for them, like for my friends. But all the politics, the geopolitics, etc., is something that I understand, and I like to think about it and try to go to a bigger picture of the things. And you kind of ask yourself, when you are doing it, are you going to be demonetized straight away? So now the question here is, if you want to talk about it, are you just going to be demonetized, or are you also going to be silent? I mean, your video is not going to show as much as the others. How do they know? Because it's going to be AI. So maybe every time you pronounce those words, the AIs are looking for something. So you see what I mean? And there's a lot of people, because it's very interesting in the world where we are, because it's a world of emotions now. Everybody's acting emotional, even the politicians that should have a cold head when they take decisions, and they should have a little midterm or long-term view when they're taking decisions. But it seems like they are taking decisions like the rest of the people, like people are tweeting, so they take decisions quick without thinking of everything that it implies in the future. And when some people I've seen, for example, in French television, the few people who don't say the same thing as everyone else, not because they disagree, but just because they want to explain how we arrived there, they are straight away deemed pro-Russian and pro-Putin, and they are condoning, they are defending, and etc. And everybody come and attack them. And sometimes I'm like, wait, are you really listening to what this person is saying? And now we're in this thing where if you say anything to explain the situation, explain how this thing has been brewing for years, you have to say, oh, I'm against the war. You have to say, even if people, because people don't like arguments anymore, and they don't like to exchange ideas anymore. You end up in these things where not only the people who are watching the content are very aggressive because they want you to feel how they feel, they want you to be, etc., etc. But at the same time, the platforms want to enforce a point of view, and it's the point of view of the Occidental way. And I think it's dangerous. I understand, but I think it's dangerous. And as always, we'll see the implications of them being proactive in like this. We'll see where it takes us in the future, because more and more you have these platforms who used to say we are not editors, we are not here to decide if you like blue or you like green or red or orange. We are just here to provide you a place to put your content, and the people who are watching you will decide if they want to watch you or not. And now the platforms are telling you, oh, no. Oh, you built your whole business here? Oh, listen, if you like blue and orange, it's cool. If you like green or black, we're gonna block you, we're gonna demonetize you, we're gonna prevent you from living. And this is the kind of covert censorship that the West loves to do. And listen, when Mali decided to remove the French radio, French media from their country, the French went crazy. Like, oh, you can do this, you have to protect journalism, etc. When 24 hours before, they banned RT, the Russian networks. They said, oh no, you have propaganda. It's war, we don't want to hear you anymore. When those people, most of the people who worked there were French people, even if it was funded by the Russian government. The French radio that is giving us the French version of information in Africa, Radio France Internationale, is funded by the French government as well. Yeah, but we are the good people. No, you're not. At a point, either the rules are the same for everybody, or either we cannot live in a society where the same rules, you don't even see the contradictions. And there's a lot of contradiction going on. And yeah, listen, I mean, the conversation is always interesting. It's always interesting to talk about things, but we have to be careful because we live in certain times where you might be, you might receive a message that your channel is condoning stuff when you didn't do nothing, just because maybe these guys are not going to watch all these channels. They're just going to have AIs. When you pronounce a certain word, certain names of countries, certain events, they start filtering, trying to understand what you say. And if they didn't understand well, or if you just said a few words or something, or if maybe enough people just said, oh no, these guys, and then poof, your video can just be removed, and then you have to go through appeals and etc. And most of the time, if you didn't say nothing wrong, it's okay. But it puts you in a certain position where it really feels like if you are not saying the same thing as everybody, which is I'm so sad, I'm so angry, oh my God, I hate these people and I like those people, you end up being punished for that. And the problem here is, as I keep saying, what about the rest of the wars? What about why? Listen, I understand. It's Europe. But what, the rest of the world don't matter? Like, there's be way more people. There's be way more casualties and atrocities in all the rest of the world. But you are acting as if in the rest of the world it's normal because we are not civilized. But when he arrives here, you guys are going crazy. You want to block dollars, euros from people. You want to punish people from having points of views. You want to what about everybody else that is talking about everything else? I believe that you should have rules of insults, everything that is against the law is, yeah, those are the rules. So if you violate the law by using things that are against the law, yeah, you should be reprimanded and maybe banned if you keep abusing it. But if it starts like this, then it becomes an habit. And then one day, yeah, you cannot give your opinion about, yeah, anything, something stupid. You start being, and then you limit the freedom of speech that you founded your whole operation on. This is supposed to be the voice of the people, and the people voices are supposed to be plural. It's supposed to be plural, right? Now, if we end up with the voice of the people being just what you agree on, it becomes problematic. So for now, it's not that crazy, but it might become crazier as I'm seeing platforms starting to say what you can or not say, like. And this is why people like Elon Musk started buying into Twitter, so people who don't agree with like 80% of the people can still have a voice. So yeah, it's complicated. It's complicated, amis. But listen, what am I gonna do? $30. Thank you so much, Bruno. The true freedom of speech is not just being able to speak your mind. It means you respecting everyone else's right to do the same. Listen, what you said is beautiful, but I really think that the people of today are really forgetting this. They are really forgetting that part. Everything that you said. You know, there was a phrase from I don't remember who was. I think it was a French person that they were saying, I may disagree with you, but I will fight to the death for you to be able to say your disagreement with me. And more we have a lot of people that are very aggressive, and they believe that only them are free to say what they want to say because they are from the right side. They are the good people, and evil people cannot talk. So they believe that Marine Le Pen, Eric Zemmour in France, for example, they believe that they should not have space to talk because they believe that everything they say is poison and it's poisoning the society, etc. But listen, if some people agree with them, it means that what they're saying is resonating with some people. And do you believe that people are idiots and whatever they hear on TV, they believe in it? Or people have the ability to listen, think for themselves, and then go vote for the project that they want? But a lot of these people now, I see them on TV, especially on American media and French media as well now, and on social media. They believe that if you disagree with them, and you are like, if you are in real disagreement, like they think from one direction and you think completely the other direction, they believe that you should be silenced because whatever you're saying cannot be heard. And they will arrive en masse on Twitter and fight with you and etc. When, listen, I speak with people that I disagree with all the time. That's how you learn. That's how your opinion change. That's how their opinion change. That's where you would meet in the middle. But these people now, we live in a world right now where people want to change the definitions of words. They want to decide what is offensive, what is not. They want to make generalities of everything, anything. They talk in slogans and only slogans. So they're full of slogans. This matters, that doesn't. This group is not protected. This group is this group is evil. This group is that, and it's just these big blocks of ideas, and nobody thinks about the granularity of life. Listen, you cannot say every black person is X. You cannot, or every African is X, or every white person is X, or every gay person is X, or you cannot say that, because everybody is an individuality, and everybody you have to meet the people. You have to meet 10,000 people, and the 10,000 of them act exactly the same way to be able to say, yeah, listen, I met 10,000 of them. They all act this way. But in reality, you might meet 3 that act one way and 3 that act completely differently. This is reality. But then when you go on TV, on media, whatever, you're just gonna come and generalize. And the problem is, all these people at the same time, whenever they have an opinion, even the people that agree with them, they don't want them to sway a little bit. No. This is exactly the message. And if you don't say this message, because you could, if you listen, I agree. But what about these details here? Hey! Then you start receiving those emails. And those emails to me are scary. Listen, I regret the times where all my people would come and meet me on my website. And I had to pay for every time people would come and click on my website. I had to pay for the bandwidth. And to put video in there, it was complicated. You had to pay for maybe a service to host your videos, etc. And listen, I'm grateful for YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, all these platforms, or Clubhouse, to give us the possibility to have places where we can express ourselves. And it costs nothing to be here and broadcast to the whole world. It costs you nothing as long as you have internet. But I really regret the days when I used to pay for the possibility to have my content. And listen, I remember those who were there. On Kaysha.com, I would post everything I post on my Instagram. I would post on Kaysha.com. I would post my phrases, my live and learns. I'm talking about 15, 16, 17 years ago. I would post my live and learn, my phrases that I put on Instagram. I would post them there. And then I would have discuss comments where people, and I would have like hundreds of comments. And then we gave the power to the platforms, because the platforms promised us that, listen, we're gonna let you won't have to pay to put anything in there. We're just gonna put some ads. And instead of having just your 100 fans, we're gonna have millions and millions of people. And we're gonna have AI show your content to so many people that are going to discover you. It's going to be amazing. You're going to see. And then, yeah, now we trapped. We trapped because we put our content in those places. And yeah, listen, they can wake up in 5 years and look at my 5,000 videos and say, oh, half of those videos are very negative. Oh, did you see how it? Oh, did you hear this joke that he did with his friend? But no, that's boom. And you start having your videos removed. So there's this thing where the dream of decentralization that all the people who built Web 1.0 and Web 2.0 lost itself. It lost itself in money, in wokeness, in this world where everybody is trying to make you believe that it's only possible to have one idea, and that you have to have ideas that are in compliance with the humanity, the love of people, and listen, nobody is fat, every body positivity, they have words for everything. Nobody is ugly, you have to be positive. You're like, no, that person is ugly, I'm sorry. No, you cannot say that. Like, listen, I don't know what world you guys want to live in. Like, I'm sorry, but it's more and more I'm like, it's not gonna make it. It's not gonna. At a point, people are gonna start to either create. What up, Joel? Good to see you. At a point, I believe that the people who create the content, which is us, are going to start to rebel and either build our own decentralized places where we still have rules. It's not going to be the Far West, but at least we will be able to voice different opinions on subjects without the fear of our livelihood being removed. And yeah, we will build a competition that is big enough that those websites are scared to lose us to the competition. So they will respect our freedom of speech. Because right now what is going on is that YouTube has a monopoly. Listen, we're small. Club Shada is a small show. It's like, what, 300 people watching every episode, and then the next day another 100, and the whole week another 1,000. It's nothing. So if we take everything, we go on Twitch, or we go on smaller like live stream. There's a lot of streaming website that exist. You can decide that you're gonna do your whole show only on certain places, but you might miss a lot of the people that already have a YouTube account, etc., etc. But you can decide to do it and travel with all your people somewhere else. But I believe that if there's another platform that is as big as YouTube, that becomes their main competition, that has creators jumping from that platform from this platform to the other one because they want to be free to talk about things, etc. This is the type of pressure and competition that YouTube needs, because right now in this monopolistic place where they are starting to take political stance. And I understand the whole world is taking a political stance right now about this particular thing that is going in the world. But for us who come from other conflicted areas, it feels unfair because, yeah, but you understand? No, I don't understand. YouTube creators don't all come from Europe or the US. There's Chinese YouTube creators, there's Congolese YouTube creators, Cameroon, Syrian, Russians, people who they've been doing non-political content on their YouTube. I've seen creators on NFT creators on OpenSea, just because they're Russians, their account has been blocked because they are Russian. And they're like, wait a minute, like, I paint I just paint. I never said nothing about politics. I just paint, and poof. So this is where it becomes crazy, because you are inciting population. You are inciting the millions of idiots also. Now, I'm not saying that all population, but in population, you have millions of idiots. You are inciting them to be violent against other people by not thinking through the decisions you take on your platforms in the European Union, etc. All these people are just taking emotional decisions. This is not your job to be emotional. Your job is to think about the decisions you take, make sure it doesn't lead us to world war, and make sure that it doesn't lead us to not being able to drive our cars because the gas is too high. You have to be balanced in your opinions. And all these people, they just, because they only think about the polls, they see, like, listen, the whole world is sad about the war, so we have to be too. No, that's not your job as a politician. Your job as a politician is to lead. The Americans are bellicose in nature. They need an enemy. So 3 months ago, it was China, and now it's Russia. And when this war is over, they're going to go back to insulting China every day, or Iran. And that's how they do. But us here in Europe, we could take we could not just follow them, and we could take a different stance where we say, nah, we're gonna try to build a dialogue between these two countries and try to make sure, like, but no, what are we doing? We're sending weapons. So how do we end this? And now the platforms are saying, listen, us too, all right, listen, I hope, let's see, next time there's something that breaks out in Africa or in China or somewhere, if you're gonna have all these same emotion and all these same sanctions and all these craziness, or you're gonna make us other people be like, wow, you don't care about our dead the way you care about these ones. All right, listen, all right, cool. It's not my platform. It is what it is. Nadia, how are you? Yes, don't forget to like the live, unless you think I'm saying crazy stuff. It's funny how America contradicts its own First Amendment. Amen. Mountain of Inspiration. I would love to know your opinion on this subject, and I would love to go see it on your channel. I'm always speaking from my soul. I mean, it's not from my soul. I'm speaking from logic, I would say. I'm just trying to be a little bit logical, and I guess it feels like the whole world has gone crazy. That's, to me, wow. MJ was good. How come no other platform has been able to compete with YouTube? What happened to Dailymotion and the likes? That's a great question. Hi, bon chose faite. I remember that when I started uploading videos, the first big site that I started using was Dailymotion. And I remember that the owner, the creator of Dailymotion, I forgot his name, he came to my channel, because back then it was only like a few hundred channels in there. And he came to my channel, and I remember Luis Abju, Zouk Lover, and all these people, my fans from Portugal and my fans in France, everybody, when I create my account and I put on Kaysha.com that now the videos are going to be there, everybody created their account, and we all went there and we started. And he told me, you brought your community, that's beautiful. Welcome to Dailymotion. And I remember that I used to upload on Dailymotion all the time. I used to also upload on Vidler. But the problem is to host every day millions of hours of video, gigabytes and gigabytes and trillions of gigabytes of terabytes every day on servers and play them. It takes a scale that is huge. It's like it costs so much money that the only reason a website like YouTube or a website like Instagram, for example, they survived with the success they had, it cost them more money to serve you the content than sometime they have. When Instagram exploded, when Justin Bieber arrived on Instagram and he brought with him 3 million people, back when we only had 1,000 followers, and 1,000 followers was huge. The CEO from Instagram said we only had $10,000 left in our account because we didn't have a monetizing plan yet. So we didn't have ads, we didn't have this. So it was just a free service and people were not paying to use the app, but we have to pay to use the servers because this video is going in the cable, going up there in the internet, and then it's going to the servers, being pinged, duplicated across all the servers of Google or YouTube, and then given to you in Canada, given to you here and there, and you guys see me maybe after, I don't know, 30 seconds after what I said. So this is crazy that it's possible that you guys all around the world are seeing me, right? And put your flag of where you're watching from in the chat. So what saved most of these people are either VC money, but you burn that money quick. Investors come, they give you some money, maybe you can survive another month. So the salvation comes when a huge behemoth like YouTube buys you. And now you have virtually unlimited money. But for a long time, YouTube was the only place on the Google service that was not making money. And it was actually the other people from the rest of the company was mocking YouTube because it was costing Google too much money for videos of cats. Same for Twitter at a point. Same for Instagram. And when Mark Zuckerberg bought Instagram for 1 billion and WhatsApp for 19 billion, I think, everybody went crazy because they was like, this guy is crazy. This guy is crazy. He's not worth this. He doesn't generate money, blah, 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 blah. Today, everybody is like, oh, this guy had a vision. So Vidler was the first that I used, and that was the first that you could put ads on your videos. That was the first time I started making money from my videos. I was like, wow. The first time I paid my rent using YouTube's money was in 2007, 2008, when I got admitted to the monetization program. So I don't even know how much money I made from YouTube all this time. Probably $200,000 or something like that. But from then, I start uploading to, I was using a program where I will upload to one site and the site was connected to all my accounts, and I would upload my vlogs on YouTube, Dailymotion, Vidler, Vimeo, and a bunch of other websites. And at a point, I arrived with my 10 first million views on YouTube, and I just saw that, yeah, it's the clear winner because it was the platform that was better designed, that went to 720p, the faster, etc., etc. We could put longer video because back in the days, you could only put like 1 or 2 minute video on YouTube. You could not put a long thing. You could not do live streaming, etc. So once they got bought by YouTube, by Google, they start bringing a lot of content, a lot of updating the website a lot, bringing a lot of creators. You start having I was the first girl who was, actually she was an actor, but she was at a point nobody knew at that time. And she was just the first girl who was vlogging, and she was just having a journal, telling her story, and she had millions of people. Then you had Justin Bieber as a kid. Like, the platform was vibrant, just like Instagram. The thing is, to answer your question, the answer to your question is, where's your question? I lost your question. Anyway, to answer your question, there it is. What happens to platforms is people, because people tend to flock to one place where everybody is. And I know there's a lot of copies of Twitter and places like Library, for example, is a decentralized version of YouTube, of something that is like YouTube on the blockchain, where people are paid using NFTs or cryptocurrencies. You got platforms like Vimeo. You got a lot of platforms, and you got Twitch, for example, which is, in terms of live streaming, this is huge. But most of the time, yeah, it's gonna solidify. It's the same question with telephones, smartphones. Why is there only iOS and the iPhones and Androids and all these other brands but are using Androids? Why is there only two platforms? What about, where is Windows mobiles? Where is BlackBerry? Where is the Nokia system? Where is BOS? It's the reality of markets. People are going to choose something, and then everybody will want to use the same thing. And it's the same thing for a lot of things. Like, I remember where you got iMeme. No, I remember even worse. I remember you had, like, so you have iMessage, messages, SMS, ICQ, MSN Messenger, Viber, WhatsApp, Orkut, like Duo. There's a ton of Facebook Messenger, Instagram DMs. Like, there's a ton of different platforms, right, to send messages. But in reality, most people, there's Signal, there's Telegram, but most people, they're either on WhatsApp, iMessage, or Facebook Messenger, and more Instagram DMs. And most people, once they are somewhere, they are not interested in knowing where is everybody else, because they want to be where their mom is, their auntie, their girlfriend, etc. So if everybody talks only between Instagram DMs and WhatsApp, that's where, if you want to talk to me and have a reply on the day, you have to send me a message in one of those two. If you send me a message on Facebook Messenger or on Viber or on Telegram, good luck to receive a message, because yeah, I have all these apps, but I don't open them. So this is what happened to, I believe, what happened to all these platforms. Monopoly is unhealthy. Yep. Especially when you are on the other side of the fence. That is so true. Vimeo became a platform tailored towards semi-pro and pro videographers to host their videos, highlight reels, etc. So it's not even a competitor to YouTube inside. Yeah, they decide to, but at a point they wanted to, but then they were like, "No, we're not gonna win this war, so we're done." Now you need to pay to post content on Vimeo. Yeah, and in a way, these help separate from, a place like. So it's a question, like, would I prefer, let's say you have a new platform like Twitter, but you have to pay $5 per month to be on the platform. And maybe it's going to be less people, but maybe it's going to be a little more quality people because we all pay. I don't know. I'm just asking myself, would I pay for that, or would I prefer to be in the street with everybody else on Twitter? It's a question that people have to ask themselves. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, listen, I'd rather be with, depending on the subject, I'd rather be in a place where yeah, it's a private club, so we can have conversation about things without people that with no argument come with their emotions. Because we cannot have a conversation where people are just angry all the time. They want to yell, they want to not let you talk. They want to say, oh, what about if it was your daughter? What about if it was your sister? Shut the You see what I mean? Like, at a point, we need to be able to have conversations, remove the emotion, so we can have an interesting, intelligent conversation. So this is where you decide for yourself. Do you engage with everybody, or do you only engage with people who are on a certain level of and they are able to speak with you and disagree with you and have a great exchange? Because me, I love exchanging ideas with people. And like some of my best friends, we completely disagree politically, but we have amazing conversations about it. Because I'm not trying to force them to agree with me, and they are not trying to force me. We are just exchanging our opinions, and we say what we agree on, what we don't agree on, where we meet in the middle. And most of the time, at the end, we crack a joke and we continue, we move on. Some people, they want to yell. They wake up in the morning and they want to yell. They want to be angry. They want to be, and this is not something that is healthy. And I believe that those platforms, they are always torn between letting everybody say what they want, but knowing that if you let everybody say what they want, maybe somebody will say something that is a little too shocking for people, and then Coca-Cola and Chanel and Disney and all the companies will come and say, oh, we remove our ads, we cannot be in a place where people come, and boom. So this is why those platforms, they have to cave to these demands and understand they have to protect their business model. So I understand their position. It doesn't mean that I have to agree with it. I believe that as a platform, you have your business. You have your business model is based on ads. So you have your business here. You have the people who pay for the ads, that are the advertisers, and you have the people who who watch the content. This is the public, this is you guys, and then you have the creators. So you have to be able to find the right balance between everybody. And I know that YouTube, for a few times, they were not able to balance it right, because it's an American company, and sometimes they're going to think about their business more than their creators. And sometimes the backlash will make them think about it and always trying to find a way. And then, it's the world of today. And when you have so many people with so many opinions coming on your platforms, everybody wants you to block the people that they disagree with, or the people that they decide that what they say is not right. So, like the whole Dave Chappelle thing, Will Smith, the slap. Oh my God, alopecia. Nobody cared about alopecia before that. All of a sudden, the whole world knows what it is, etc. A lot of people discovered it 10 minutes after the slap, and all of a sudden, everybody is an expert on alopecia, etc. Like all this. And then you have to protect your woman. Oh no, the business, like everybody have their how they want, what they think about it. The problem is, if you don't think like them, they want to cancel you. And this is the sad part of the world today. And I always say, if I'm giving all my content and all my time and I'm building something on a platform, it's not so that the platform one day just decides to take everything I built for 15 years away just because I don't agree with whoever is deciding what is good or bad right now. Because what is good or bad is something that is moving all the time. Listen, 3 months ago, you would ask Americans, Iran was like the empire of the evil. You ask them today, well, now they need oil. No, they are friends. Yeah, they're cool. So you're like, wait a minute, like, but because people have they have a memory that lasts 48 hours. Yeah, you can just say one thing one day and say something completely different 3 months later, and people are just following you because they're not even listening to what they say. They are fans. They elect people because they like them, not because they read the program. This is the world of today. That's how people are. So in a world where everybody's emotional, people like me, listen, I'm seeing people losing YouTube channels left and right and center because of fake violations of terms, and it's frustrating many. Exactly. So YouTube is gonna face a problem of that. A lot of people will retrieve their channels, but a lot of people will be like, you know what? Let me download all my content and move to somewhere else, like, and or build something else. Say this is problematic. Other platforms, including Dailymotion, are now very niched and obviously much smaller than YouTube. Well, you know, Dailymotion had an opportunity because it's a French company. It had an opportunity to actually compete with YouTube when Yahoo was looking for. Yahoo was looking when it was Marissa Mayer became the CEO of Yahoo. She was looking for a platform to create the YouTube competitor, but she didn't want to start from scratch. So she came to the people of Dailymotion and she said, we want to buy you. But because Yahoo is an American company, the French minister, what's his name? I forgot his name. I think this is one of that government biggest mistake when it comes to technology. The Arnaud Montebourg, who was a minister for, I forgot what it is, but he was about like, oh, we have to make everything French. We have to stop stuff that is built in France from moving away, etc., etc. And he didn't even understand or want to understand the concept of multinationals. He said, there's no way we are letting Dailymotion become an American company. And the guys from Yahoo said, no, we don't want it to become an American company, but yeah, we want to, invest in it, make it huge, etc., etc. So the French government, they blocked this deal between two private companies, and they instead paired Dailymotion with Orange, which is the telecom company from France. And of course, it was a nightmare of an acquisition. It was a nightmare of different cultures, and it didn't work. And that's how Dailymotion lost its possibility to become the YouTube competitor. So that's what happened between Dailymotion and YouTube. Odyssey is one of these platforms. We will never censor you like YouTube does type platforms. Yeah, that's what they all say when they're small. When you're small, you can do what you want. When you become big, people are starting to tell you that your voice is reaching. So you start receiving calls from the government. yeah, so yeah, that's an interesting turn of events. We'll see. It's an interesting conversation. So still have 30 minutes left. I saw. Wait. Something that I saw, and I was like, I just want to know if it's true. I don't have a possibility, but listen, let me just go to my main subject of today. I want to talk to you about giving guidance to people. Would it be different if the light were a little higher? Maybe. I have to find a tripod for my light. I want to talk to you about guidance, but not the guidance that you give to people. For a long time in my life, I love to have conversations with friends. I love to have, interestingly, I have a lot of insight, and at the same time, I have a clear vision of the future most of the time about different topics. It's just the way I am. I have a friend that plays saxophone, and he makes 10,000 a month or a week, I don't remember, just on TikTok, because now you have TikTok Live. So yeah, maybe I should try one TikTok Live one day. Club Shada on TikTok to see if you guys show up. But listen, let me go back to my subject. I'm somebody that have those who talk to me on the phone or those who come here. I'm somebody that I'm not a person with a short-term vision. I'm a person that always have a long-term vision. So when you are like me, you are not able to just take a decision just like that. You tend to be able to think fast, but to act always thinking of the consequences of the consequences of the consequences of the consequences of an action. And you get a lot of phone calls when you're like me, from friends, from people who are, they want to know what you think about subjects, and you have just these conversations. And when you're in my position and you give all these advices to people, I used to be super frustrated by people not following my guidance. Artists trying to be independent, asking me how to run their label. I tell them everything they're supposed to do, and they just do 5% of it. Artists asking me about why their career is not going where they want. Can I help them? Can I mentor? Can I, et cetera, and people would never follow my advice. They would listen to what I would say, and maybe after 2 days, they would interpret everything I said completely differently and not do what I said and not make it. And when I met my wife in 2014, I remember, I think I had 10,000 followers on Instagram. She had 3,000 followers, and I was watching her things, and I was like, you could do this, and 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 this. See what I mean? And she started listening to me. So I gave her one of my cameras. I showed her how to use the camera. I showed her how to use effects, etc. And I showed her how to use Instagram and how to get things for free. And I remember the first time she got a dress for free, she went crazy. She was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was like, yeah, listen, you can get a whole wardrobe of things for free, and people can even pay you if you follow these advices. And listen, she now has 200,000 followers. It's now her business. She doesn't have any more space in her wardrobe from all the free stuff she received every week, and all the collaborations people are asking her to do. Even her teeth, we went to Turkey to do it, and yeah, it was a collaboration, and they were like, listen, you put some videos in there on your YouTube and on your thing, and in exchange, etc., etc. So, but then when she started finding her own style and shooting her photos her own way because she knew exactly what she wanted, I started being a little frustrated because she wouldn't do the photos the way I want, and she would not follow my recipes. But it was working for her. She's very successful on Instagram, etc. But she was not listening to the way I wanted her to do it. The photos, the way I wanted her to edit, the colors I wanted her to use. And one day she told me something interesting. She told me, listen, this is my Instagram and I'm doing my thing, and I'm happy for the things I learned from you, but I'm taking it from here. And that was very interesting because it put me in a reality check with my own ego. And I realized something about guidance is that you can give people your opinion. You can guide people if they desire. You can give them ideas. You can inspire them. You can show them how it's done. You can show them how you do it. You can show them how you do your music, how you do your albums, how you do everything. But you don't have to make it about your ego. Because when you are giving advices to people and you are giving opinions about the business, or you are consulting, or people pay you to consult, what they do with the advice, what they do with everything you are consulting them to do, advising them, it's up to them, and it's up to them to know what they're going to do with it. What you can do is provide what I provide. For example, for my wife, I provide the YouTube channel. I built the whole YouTube channel for her. Because I have a network. She doesn't have to wait to monetize her channel. She could monetize her video from the first channel because it was part of my network of channels. She had access to all the things that my network have access, live streaming, all these monetization features. And I show her how to create those things. Bought a phone at Christmas, the cameras, the lens, all that stuff. I provide this, but after that, what she does with it is her problem. So she's active on her Instagram, but now she's a mother. She's less about it. Even if she posts from time to time, she doesn't post every day like she used to. And once you grow older, once you arrive to 30 years old, you start to be like, listen, it's just Instagram. But for example, her YouTube channel, she doesn't put nothing in there. She's not. She doesn't want to edit, etc. So it's sad because she has 100,000 subscribers. But that's her channel. She does what she wants. So channel generates money. When it generates money, I give her money. And if she doesn't want to put nothing in there, that's her problem. That's up to them. She's more Instagram person. I respect that. She's more Instagram, TikTok. That's what she likes. And I can try to give my opinion, but it always has to be a certain way. I had the same conversation with Elisio, for example, one day about his music career as an independent, and I used to always tell him, "Hey, bro, I do this, and I make that amount of money. You should do this as well. You should do this. You have the content, blah 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 blah. Let's go, bro, da da da." Because I used to be the executive producer of his music, and I used to be, and I mean, he tells us so. I don't like to say it because it's humble, but I changed his life because of the music career. But at a point, every time we would talk on the phone, I was like, "Bro, listen, Spotify, this, that, you have to release tracks every X, you have to do this way, that way, da 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 da. Come home, let me show you the stats, da da da. You have to do it." And I was frustrated because he wouldn't do it the way I wanted. And when he was on my label, he would do his music and I would take care of all this because I still own his 4 first albums. So I know how much money I generate from his catalog. And I know how much money he could generate if he continued to add the way I've been adding to my catalog. If he did the same, maybe he could make the same amount I'm making or more, or 3 times or 10 times if he just do it the way I'm doing it. And one day he told me, "Bro, that's my career. Leave me alone." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, listen, I understand the way you do it. Let me do it my way. And it's okay. Listen, you're my brother, but it's okay. Leave me alone." So I got pissed. But then I was like, you know what? He's right. That's his music, his career. Like, but it came from a place of brotherhood. It came from a place of love, of wanting the people that I helped start their career, and I helped show their talent to the world. This idea that I'm still responsible for their successes and their failures. But what he told me that day is, "Bro, you are not responsible. It's okay. Let me do my thing. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And it's all good. I'm fine. I'm a hustler. I'm fine. I'm cool." And after that, I stopped. I don't know. We talk music. We still talk music and stuff. But as I understood something. If you have the information and you want to give it to the people because you love them, you cannot force them to use that information for what you want them to. All you can do is just give them the information and put your ego on the side and just enjoy and appreciate and know that they're appreciating the fact that you gave them the information. And what they're gonna do with the information is not your problem. If you really want people to follow your information exactly the way you want them to do it, you sign people, or you become a teacher at the university, at Berkeley, or you do seminars where people are learning how to do a label, and they come to you and they pay you. Each person pays you $5,000 and you accompany them for that price to their first releases and etc. And you do like one-on-ones, etc. But if you just do it for the love, you should also let the people do what they want with the information and stop trying to think that you're the only one who has the formula. Because trust me, I have the formula and my formula works pretty well. But there's a lot of people who have other formulas and it works. So not only you're not responsible for what people are going to do with the advices you give, but you don't have to feel responsible. You don't have to feel that if they don't do it, you're going to be frustrated, or if they fail, it's your fault. Because ultimately, they live in their own body, they have their own point of view of the world, and they have their own personality, and they're going to do what they're going to do with the information. And it's all good, it's fine. And it's really something that I learned from those experiences, from working with my wife, and at a point, listen, I told her, hey, find yourself a management team so you can, like, you know, it's your business, it's not my business. I showed you how I would do it, and I gave you the tools, and then you successfully have your own style of editing your photos. It looks amazing. You have your own style of the things you want to do. You have your own strategy now, and I believe that I don't need to be your manager anymore. If I have deals for you, I'll tell you, hey, I have this deal for you. Do you want to do it? And I'm going to take 20% as a good businessman, and you're going to do whatever this deal imply, and the rest of the time you're going to handle your thing with your people. And yeah, and it's been less friction like that, because it was frustrating for her to have a husband telling her, no, you have to pose this way for the photo, and she was like, no, I want this way, because I'm a creative and I was not respecting her point of view as a creative as well. I listen, I know how I want to make my music. I know how I want my videos to look like. I've been directing all my videos, my thing, like writing my song, etc. But when you work with other creatives, you have to let them be themselves. I had the same thing with Elijah when we started working on his first album. I remember listening to one song, and he was rapping in Creole, and then he was rapping in French, and then the chorus was in English. I was like, bro, it makes no sense. Like, why don't you have one song in English, then one song in Creole, then one song in French? It makes more sense for, you know, how we're gonna sell the music. It was like, yeah, bro, listen, that's me. Like, yeah, but you know, don't you wanna? He was like, nah, I prefer doing it this way and this, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. I was like, all right, bro, listen, do your thing. You know, I let the artists express themselves. And when his first album came out, the album exploded, and nobody ever told me, yo, why he sings in 3 languages in one song? Nobody ever told me that. Nothing. People were just like, yo, this album is amazing. Well done, Sushiraw. So you have to let people express themselves and even make mistakes. I really believe that, you know, sometimes I tell my wife, like, when the first time she did a brand, I remember I told her, I don't believe you doing this brand with the right person, and I believe you should do it this way, this way, this way. It's gonna cost you less money, and for a first try, I believe you're gonna make more money if you use an automated service rather than having stuff coming from China, blah 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 blah. And yeah, she told me, yeah, let me do my thing my way. And I was like, well, all right, do your thing your way. And then it was a failure. I mean, it was a success in the beginning, and then because of the other person, 2 people, whatever, it didn't work out. And now she came to me and she said, what would you have done? That's when I told her I would do it this way, this way, this way. And then I helped her do it my way, or a way that, it was not my way, it was a way that I believe, Something that I know how to do is I'm not a person. I'm not a creative tyrant. I'm not trying to push people to do the things my way, because I don't have this frustration. I can do my stuff my way. Listen, I'm releasing so much music by myself, my photos, my stuff. I have my own program here. I don't need people to do it my way. I can do it by myself. I'm cool. But something I'm good at is looking at somebody and saying, listen, you should do this color, you should do like this, you should do that. This is something I know how to do because I'm a good executive producer. And sometimes when you tell people, do it this way for you, not for me, do it this way. I don't have a bikini brand, but if I had one, I believe for you, because of your brand, the strategy would be this. And she did it that way, and actually she had more success, and she was very happy. And at the same time, I respected her creative vision, but I just was talking about the back end. It's something that I'm good at. So I learned a lot from these different interactions and as I'm doing my show, I've been advising my two cousins, Joel Amen, Mountain of Inspirations, who are here, Dahlia MTV, for their shows, for how their show look, for the strategies of their show, the strategies of their YouTube channel. I've been advising MJ. I remember when I advised MJ Wemoto to change his name, because that was not his name. He was the Moto Music Channel, if you guys remember. I advised him to change it to MJ Wemoto for branding purpose. Oh, it's something I love to do with my circle of people, but I don't force them anymore. And I don't feel frustrated when they don't do it the way I said. I wouldn't say I don't care. It's just that I gave the information, and all I care about is that the information has been received. Once the information has been received, it's up to you to say, yeah, I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna use a red bottle or a blue one, and then you do your thing. If it doesn't work and you decide to go back to green, finally, we continue having the conversation. It's all good. And as a leader, it's something that you have to learn as a leader. A lot of leaders, they don't know how to lead because they are a little tyrannic, I would say, and they believe that things have to be exactly how they think. And it's very hard, especially when you go from small one-man operation and you start adding people, signing people. You want them to work like you work. But I learned that when you start expanding, it's better to find one person, give them one task, and hope they do that one task well, and not your way. You let them do it their way. You explain what you need, and that's it. And it's something that I learned with experience, with signing people, with having free labels, with starting the musical career under 6 different names, etc., starting career from other people, etc. I really learned a lot of that thing with time. And as I say, it's something that your choices, they don't belong to me. The advice I give you, it's an advice, but your choices are gonna be your choices, and you're gonna do what you want with them. And when you give an advice, if I have an advice to give to the people who give advices, I would say give your advices selflessly. That word doesn't exist. But be selfless when you give your advices. You just give your advice, and it's not about you. It's about the person who's asking you for an advice. Hey, how do you think I should do, or whatever. And then after that, you're now responsible for everything that happens from that. And once you understand that, listen, you sleep better at night. I mean, I sleep good at night, but you don't think about it that much. You don't think about other people's career. You don't think about because you're busy focusing on your thing. So yeah, something I learned. And yeah, it is what it is. Let me see what you guys are saying before I check out. How come it's only respect ALC on the chat and that I see everybody here not say nothing? Put me some unicorns in the chat if you enjoyed that conversation. I forced myself not to go on my wife's platform, otherwise I'll be frustrated about the uploaded contents. I don't force myself. I don't really go there. From time to time, I go. I like some photos when they are in my feed, but yeah. Listen, I trust her to know what. She knows she's doing her thing. So I'm usually here when she's taking some of these photos, or before she posts them. I see them most of the time. So once they're in there, I don't need to go there and watch or whatever. So it's funny how Instagram, if I like 6 pictures of my wife, so from time to time I'm gonna go to her content, I'm gonna like all her photos and continue my life. But after that, Instagram gonna show me every girl that looked like my wife. And I'm like, why are you trying to make a brother be unfaithful? Instagram, like, there's a lot of them. How come there's so many people that look like her? Bunch of them. And I'm like, oh my god. So that's funny. The algorithms. Your YouTube channel hasn't been updated for the past 6 months, but her subscribers keep going up. Yeah. Something that I might do on her YouTube channel is maybe I'm gonna ask her to give me her TikToks, and I'm just gonna upload her TikToks on her channel as shorts, because she has a lot of people from Brazil that are coming to that channel. They keep leaving comments, etc. But yeah, she's not really into the filming and stuff. I was telling her, hey, listen, come here, we change this, maybe we put something different, a different decor, and we buy a different tree, we do it. Yeah, maybe from time to time you do a live stream. But she's an antisocial. She's not into this, so it's complicated for people who are antisocial to be there and speak to strangers online. That's not her thing, but that's my thing. So it's like during the pandemic, maybe she was about it, but now the pandemic is over, she's not interested. Gelas was good, son. How was Brazil? So Julie, is your birthday already, or is it it's Sunday, right? Some people would take your advice to do good, but would not give you credit, but instead they would say it's their hard work without any help. Listen, like Feu Jacob de Vario used to tell me, if you're doing this job and you help people for gratitude, do something else. At first I didn't understand, but now I understand what he meant. It's a lot of unicorns. Bro, next time you go to Brazil, let me know, because I've been wanting to go, but alone, I would love to go when you're there. It's Sunday, that's what I thought. All right, we'll celebrate Sunday then. All right, listen. Told you everything I had to tell you. Sunday, I'm going to talk to you about the rebranding that I did for all my music. I'm so happy that I'm done. But I'm not going to keep for now because I want to keep it under 2 hours. As always, before we leave, I would love you to go in the channel. Once you're done watching this video or this live stream, go to the channel and I like what I hear. Miami, very soon. Very soon. Or Thailand too. Yeah, what I want you to do for me is, once this life is over, stay on my channel, go in one video, the latest one or any video in the channel, and leave a like and a comment, please. That would be cool. This show is brought to you by Shada, Gods of Good Fortune. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thanks to our new stream royalty, Mr. Bruno. Mr. Bruno Mashkizamba. I mean, now it's just Bruno. So thank you, Bruno, for being the stream royalty with, I forgot how much today, 30 euros super chat. And you are now the stream royalty with $43. You have surpassed Siren Desid. Thank you so much for supporting the show. I'm going to leave you with a song by, where's Spotify? I'm gonna leave you with a song by Monsieur de Shada, actually. A song called, ooh, what can I play? I love that song. It's a song by Monsieur de Shada called Until You're Ready, from my album from 2015 called Baobabs and Bottles of Wine. And it's a dope song. If you enjoyed that conversation, make sure to leave a like, to leave a comment after the live, and make sure to, what did I say I'm going to play? Until You're Ready. Perfect. Yeah. Like I was saying, yeah, if you enjoyed that conversation, put me some fire or some unicorns in the chat, and I will see you Sunday for the Julie's birthday celebration, right? And more things. So it was a pleasure to be with you tonight, and now it's time for me to go watch some Kung Fu flicks or some YouTube, or go comment on some people's channels. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you when I see you, my people. What time is it? 2:40. All right, cool.